looking to show up in Sturgis and style, I don't think there's any better way to do it.
You want to talk about a coach that's lived in a garage, untouched, about as new as you can get.
When we came onto your lot, I could tell this coach was fresh. We are always trying to find you guys the biggest and the best toys. And today we're here at Olympia Luxury Coaches, and Austin, you've got quite the package setup here.
I do. This is a really cool setup. 2023 Marathon, 2024 ATC Stacker Trailer, 26 foot.
And Sturgis is coming up soon, so if you like Harleys and you're looking to show up in Sturgis in style, I don't think there's any better way to do it. And this is all turnkey, ready to go?
All turnkey, ready to go.
Now, how much money does someone need to become the next owner of this Marathon and Stacker Trailer?
So this one's gonna take just under 1.699 for the setup, Andrew.
Yeah, and I know the brand new Marathons have an MSRP over $3 million. So to get a late model with the matching Stacker Trailer ready to go, that's an incredible value. And how many miles are on this coach?
So get this, only 17,000 miles. And to top it off, a bath and a half.
Wow, bath and a half X3. Is that a double slide?
Double slide.
Yeah, I think that might be a record for a 17,000 mile marathon. Can we take a closer look?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so what's the story with this coach? How did you acquire it? And
so another customer of ours, his brother actually owned this bus. His brother contacted us together. We put a deal together, made it very simple for him, very simple for us, gave him the option of consigning and ended up just wiring him the money on it. So it's here today for sale.
Nice. Well, I love this orange. And as we get closer in the light, there is a heavy metallic going on. It almost reminds me of that candy paint I've seen on some of those old hot rods. And there's even a cool pattern within the stripe here. You got different shades of orange, all with a heavy metallic, really good looking coach.
Yes, it is. And speaking of the previous owner of this coach, he bought it brand new from Marathon out of the 2023 Tampa Super Show. It was a featured show coach there. So you might look back and see Coach 1371. There's various videos on this bus. It was a show coach. When him and I were talking and putting this deal together, I was asking him condition, you know, how they've used the coach. They jumped full into the lifestyle. This was their first bus. They've got a lot of different toys, yachts, planes, houses, and just didn't find time to use this anymore. So that's how we ended up acquiring the bus. But he only washed this coach from the time he had it less than 10 times. So it's probably, since he owned it and now us, we've probably washed it 10 or 12 times in its ownership since he took delivery. So you want to talk about a coach that's lived in a garage, untouched, about as new as you can get.
It's a one owner garage cab with only 17,000 miles, and it's really a time capsule. When we came onto your lot, I could tell this coach was fresh. I think that's the word I use, is it's fresh.
That's a very good example, because I've seen new coaches even at shows, and I mean, these front ends are flat, so it doesn't take long to get the little nick even in the PPF coating. This one is very fresh, just like you said.
Well, and I wonder how many of those 17,000 miles, you know, were put on this bus, because, you know, it's got to go from Prevost out to Coburg, Oregon, and we just went to the mothership, just a class act facility out there, but then, you know, down to the Tampa show and back to Coburg. I bet you a lot of those miles were put on probably by Marathon when it was still new.
Yeah, before he even took delivery, so very few miles put on this by the owner.
Well, and, you know, we had a chance to visit the Marathon coach team and really meet a lot of their employees. It's incredible how many employees have been with Marathon for, you know, 10, 20 plus years. I mean, we met Alan, who's been there for 43 years, just an incredible team and a wealth of wisdom there. And not only at their mothership in Coburg, Oregon, but they've got service facilities on the East Coast, down in Florida, in Texas, and then back in Oregon. So really the only Class A luxury motor coach company that has service centers East Coast, West Coast, and Central USA. And I know you do a lot of service work on Marathon Coach here at Olympia in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We
do. We love Marathon Coach, love the company, the largest service network of any converter, and the largest converter of any custom bus conversion. So a great company, and we've got one of those longtime techs here that came to work for us, Jamie, who was at Marathon for 25 years. So I think that explains a testament to Marathon too. You see these long-term employees. A lot of companies can't keep those employees with them, their turnover rate, but Marathon has managed to keep those guys with them.
I think Jamie was a windfall for you because he had made the decision to move to this area, so you got really lucky just on the logistics of that.
Yes, great to have him here.
Well, I'm really looking forward to showing the folks this coach and this stacker trailer. Before we take a look through the bays of the coach, can we take a closer look at the trailer?
Yeah, let's go look at it.
What's the story on this trailer?
So this trailer is a 2024 model. It's a 26-foot ATC, has the stacker lift in it, the side access door. This was wrapped to match the paint by Walter DeAndrea up in Caneyville, Kentucky. Walter's only 2 hours from us, so
You want me to get this?
yeah, go ahead and get that and we'll open this up. And I think you'll be able to tell when you look at this, our driver, he put his truck in here driving it home, but it is in very, very good condition. Really has not had much in it at all. And obviously with the coach of 17,000 miles, there's not many miles on this.
And then this door is gonna make it easy to, get in and out of, the trailer when you put a car in. And then, yeah, this is all vinyl wrap here. So is it stainless or what is it? I guess this is I thought that was stainless, but that's actually a wrap there.
That's a mirror finish on that he put on there to match the bottom stainless of the coach. So pretty cool.
Yeah, really turned out nice. And then I love the exterior paint design here. Well, it's vinyl design to match the coach, but wow, they really knocked it out of the park with a PPF. We recently did a video for our buddies at Sign Zoo down in Sarasota, Florida. They also have Film House, which is their division that wraps the trailers, and they did Mark Martin's stacker trailer behind his Newell. It's incredible some of the stuff they can do with PPF and wrap nowadays.
It sure is. And I think, as a guy that's in the coach market, and you'll probably agree, Andrew, these guys trade coaches more than they trade cars sometimes. So wrapping your trailer might be a better option than painting your trailer, depending on how quick you move in and out of coaches.
Yes, sir. And I really like the look of these tail lights that ATC did. You've got the aggressive styling on the tail lights there. And then does this ramp fold down?
It does. And we've got the remote Voyager camera system. So it's got a monitor inside the coach that connects to this. So you'll be able to see behind the coach going down the road and inside the trailer.
You could tell it's all in excellent condition. I think it might need to be sweeped out a little bit. I know it was recently used to put his car in here when he was towing it back. So.
Yep, so he strapped his truck, and actually, crazy enough, he had an F-150, so an F-150 will fit in the trailer. The guy we picked it up from, he convinced his wife to get another vehicle because he didn't think his F-150 would fit. So he ended up seeing that, hey, an F-150 will fit in here, so very large stacker.
Awesome. Can we turn the lights on in here? Yeah, this is definitely in the wrapper. It's got that real bright lighting and real high-end cabinets here. And I like the way that these are offset to the side here, giving you this extra room up front. A lot of the cabinets are sometimes up front here, but this is kind of a cool variation. Yeah,
I like that. That way, if you want to park your motorcycle up towards this way, you can still do that. Probably still get two vehicles in here. So that makes that nice rather than having those cabinets up front.
And then above this, when we put the lift down, there's a large storage area here on the second story up top here.
Yes, there is.
I like seeing the cameras here so that when you're driving your coach, you can keep an eye on your toys back here, make sure everything's staying in place. And then now, will this ramp fold down as well, or how does that work?
So this is just a large swing door on this one, so no ramp. And then the 3 camera modules on the coach, so you'll have one up above for the trailer, one here for the trailer, and then one off the back. And you'll see those modules on the side of the trailer to transmit to the coach in the front.
And you said you'll sell this as a package deal, but if someone wanted to buy just the trailer, would you sell just the trailer?
So we want to see that we can either sell the package first, and then if the package doesn't sell, we'll sell the trailer separately.
You don't want to keep this as your personal trailer?
I really do want to keep this as my trailer, so hopefully somebody doesn't want the trailer, and I'll be happy to just sell the bus too.
Well, that's a really nice bus up front there. Can we take a closer look at the bus there?
Yeah, let's look at it.
Now, Marathon's one of the few Prevost converters that does convert X's. I know Emerald may do a couple.
Yeah, Emerald does a couple, Millennium does a couple, but there's really not many guys out there that if you're looking for an X, Marathon is going to be the #1 converter of the X3 body style on the motorhome side of the converters.
Yes, sir. And what's all going on? I see this bay back here with a locking door. I'm curious what that is.
So let's open that up. So this here is going to be your fuel and DEF fill on the driver's side of the coach. So fill with diesel, fill with DEF there. And then down below, you're going to have your Marathon coach water hose reel. So that hose reel will come out there. It's got a little flip back for the hose to come out, so you can still keep that closed. So all those little attentions to detail that Marathon does.
Do you know how many gallons of diesel fuel this coach can hold?
This coach is going to hold 203 gallons of diesel.
And the fresh water and holding tank capacities?
Freshwater holding capacity, not 100% sure on this X3, Andrew. It should be somewhere in the 160 plus range.
And then gray and black tanks?
Gray and black are typically 61 and 81.
Okay, and I know it can, these are all custom coaches, so there's a lot of different variations. It's not like, in a production coach, like a Newmar, we know every King Air has exactly these size tanks where, one owner may have wanted a specific, configuration for whatever reason. So.
For sure. So this bay here is going to pop open with a button. And that is actually something that Marathon Coach puts in, which is really nice instead of having to mechanically release that latch. And our inverters are going to be housed behind here. We've got a button for our hose reel in and out and battery disconnects as well.
With the Marathon Coach inverters, I believe you can run one or two of the AC units off of regular AGM batteries?
Yes, so you'll be able to run 2 of those 4 AC units, and the one you'll always be able to run is up in the front, and then you can select between the bed, bath, and the bedroom unit.
And how many inverters are there, and what's the size of those?
So this coach here is going to have 4 3,000 watt Xantrex inverters on it.
I know Marathon's been using that technology where you can run an AC off the inverters for a long time now.
They have, and they were one of the first that were able to run those, back in the 90s. So, if we go down here to our 98 Marathon, you can run 2 of those ACs off of the inverters. So really ahead of their time and works well efficiently down the road.
Yeah, you've got some cool, talking about some of those older coaches, you've got a special coach out there. We saw an original 2000 bunk model spec non-slide XL Marathon. You find gems every time we come visit you.
Yeah, that's a special coach. It's one of those that you say, like, go find another. There's probably not one out there. So very special.
Yeah, not many converters were building bunk coaches back in 2000.
No, definitely specially built.
Yeah, now this is a bunk coach or no?
This is not going to be a bunk coach.
Okay.
So next here is going to be your Marathon Coach water bay. Very distinctive Marathon look. Your manifold on the hot water side, the cold side, hot and cold water faucet. You've got your towel dispenser, your soap dispenser, your glove dispenser, your washout porch, your freshwater inlet. Marathon really has refined this over the years, but when they found something that worked, they stuck with it. The nice part is about coaches of this vintage, if you need to get to any of your drop door setup, this opens right up. This door also opens right up, so if you need to see into any of your tank, more serviceability side for the Marathon techs if they're having to work in there. Very, very easy to access.
I don't see any wear and tear on that plumbing bay. It looks like it hasn't even been used.
Yeah, and this will have Marathon's exclusive drop door set up with the shore cord and the sewer hose as well. So next bay here, we'll open this up. We're going to find our 20 kW generator. Now this generator, Andrew, it doesn't get much more fresh than this. The other day I looked, it's got 68 hours on it now. So from the factory, they don't come with much less than that, especially when you consider that at shows and things that this coach might have gone to, it might have been on auto gen for a set amount of time. So of course, when we sell this coach, this will be fully serviced. Even though it has those low hours on it, we're going to freshly service this generator. Your generator battery sits over here. In my personal opinion, I think they build the quietest generator box in our industry. And you see this quiet mat that they put in there that is aluminum backed, so if anything gets on that, wipes out very easily. The generator runs on airbags with regulators to keep that vibration and that quietness to where you can sleep on the coach, you can be in the coach, and you really have no idea that this is even running.
Yes, sir, and you've got a wealth of knowledge with all of the different Prevost converters. You carry everything here, so it's really interesting to hear your third-party perspective on all these different coaches. We learn something every time we film with you. So
yeah, I've got a lot of respect for all the converters, and everybody builds a great coach. That's what I tell all of our customers. Nobody builds a bad coach in our industry when we consider those top 5 converters. When I look at those guys that we've carried, guys that we know how to service and work with, and everybody has their their pros and cons. So this is a great option with Marathon. So our last bay here on the driver's side, we're gonna find a storage bay. Now this tray will not come out this direction, but it will extend on the other side. I believe at about 75%. We'll see that over there, but if you need to get to the items on this side, you can easily get to those. And pointing out, we've got some of the items you'll see back in there, brand new still from Marathon that have not been touched, that were in the coach. So carpet is in brand new condition. I mean, it does not get much more fresh than this.
If we can get a little close up there on that black carpet, I mean, it looks like it's literally brand new. And then talking about carpets, hold on, what are we getting a little sneak preview there?
That's the original carpet runner from inside the coach. We kept it in case somebody prefers the leopard print. That's not necessarily our style, so it's not in the coach. But if you remember it back from when it was new, it kind of ties into these stripes out here. So we kept that, and if you desire to have that, it's here waiting on you.
I'm not a big leopard print guy personally, but hey, if you've got the checkbook, you can have whatever you want.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now this is a 2023. You're talking about servicing the generator, and we've talked in some previous videos that you guys kind of fully zero out these coaches, even if they don't need new tires?
That is correct. So you would think a 2023, well, that's, not that old of a coach. So when we sell this coach, and really probably before it gets sold, these tires will all be replaced with brand new Michelins. All of the Lifeline house batteries will be replaced with brand new house batteries. So somebody's going to get in the wrapper coach, fully serviced. It's going to go to Prevost. If it has any campaigns that it needs taken care of, whether it's warranty related or service related, those will get done. Of course, we don't expect many with 17,000 miles, but it will still receive that same level of inspection.
Yeah, and you said something yesterday that kind of, really made sense to me. Even though that these tires only have 17,000 miles and may have life on it, a coach like this deserves a new pair of shoes for the new owner.
It really does, and more on that, it's even safety related. So, a low mileage coach, most people would not think that these tires need to be replaced. We have somebody call in, they have a coach they want to sell, we ask them the date codes on the tires, they say the tires are good. Well, we want to know more behind that, because just because a tire is good to them does not mean it's good to us. Any coach that comes in here that we sell that is owned by us will be replaced unless it has 3-year-old or newer tires on it. We feel like that gives that owner enough time to get life out of those tires. Michelin says 10 years. I don't believe in running a tire that long by any means. I think 5 to 7 years is the absolute max. So that at least gives our customers a couple more years on that set of tires. And that way we know, where a coach stands at that point. But anything later model like this, we're wrapping it up in new Michelins, new house batteries, new tires all the way around.
Yeah, nothing rides like a brand new set of Michelins.
So back to the safety issue on the Michelin tires. I had a 2019 Marathon a couple years ago. We had planned on replacing those tires, just hadn't got to the point yet. They were original tires on the coach. Bus had less than 20,000 miles on it at that point. I'm coming home on 840 here right outside of our dealership, and I feel something pop off. The tire didn't go down, but the outside tread delaminated from the Michelin tire, and that is very common on these 365s because they have to receive a certain number of heat cycles to maintain that lamination to the tire, and that's what Michelin told us. There was nothing wrong with the tire, but because it didn't have the heat cycles being so low mileage, that is what caused that delamination. So just because a coach has low miles and not, miles on the tires doesn't mean that that's a good thing. So you want to make sure that those tires have the heat cycles. That's why you see customers that take their coaches out, get them up to road temp, and then park them back in their garage.
I learned something new every time I hang out with you. I did not know that. Now, coming around to the front end of this coach, the grill looked a little bit different like we've seen. I don't know why it looked a little different to me. Is this the same as the brand new Marathons?
So I believe this is the same style that they're still using. This is such a great look of a coach, and some converters do not have custom grills, custom fairings like this. When you see this coach, It is distinctively Marathon Coach. And this is something they've done for a very long time as far as their grill and emblem down here, their caps in the front, distinctive to Marathon. And I think that's just one of those little options that sets them above some of their competition and makes this, hey, this is a Prevost bus, but this is a Marathon Coach conversion.
Now coming over to the door side, what's all going on over here?
So this door right here, we're gonna open this up. This is gonna be storage. This will be a manual slide tray that was put in. This is a Slide Master. This is one of those trays you pull to engage and pull out. This is a really, really great tray to be able to get to all of your things.
And then, yeah, the Marathon Coach lawn chairs in the wrapper, like brand new. And I love the way Marathon Coach gives you these, little compartments to store them that are really tucked out of the way.
And you'll have a spot for your Marathon Coach entry mat here, outlets in the bays, fire extinguisher, very, very clean. So next bay here, we're gonna open this up. So we've got a spot, and this Dometic cooler is on order. I think the previous customer just took that out and wanted it for themselves. So we will have a new Dometic cooler that goes here. We've got more of our Marathon Coach chairs, a little giant ladder, and on the go deionizer system for the onboard power washing.
I'm curious, is this the 5th lawn chair?
So what this is pretty cool. This is an item that comes out and attaches to the chair and makes a
nice
little footrest for you.
Nice.
So that's pretty neat. I had not seen those before, but this coach does have
Hold
one
on,
of those.
we gotta do this this coach justice here. A lot of these little things, I mean, this all adds up in cost. I can't imagine what the cost is. We've seen a lot of buses, and I've never seen this before. And I think every Prevost since like the 80s has Zip-D lawn chairs.
Yeah.
So this is a first. All right, Austin, are you going to try it out, or should I?
I think you are probably a better person to try that out.
I think these are pretty robust. I know you're a big boy, but I think it
That's
can handle
pretty neat.
it. Oh man, this is like, I'm ready to just, sit back, maybe watch a game, maybe grab a cold beverage. It's actually like insanely comfortable. Like the ergonomics, Austin, you got to try this out.
So I've never seen this before. This is a first for me. I don't know how long Marathon has been doing this, but wow.
Have you sat in it yet?
No.
It's like,
I don't know. This might not make it with the coach, Andrew.
I mean, it's like insanely comfortable. I don't know. We got to figure out where to order these. If you've got these Zip-D lawn chairs, I highly recommend. I don't know what the cost is, but it's priceless because that's like insanely ergonomic, and then you can fold it all up. If you were to try to get a full lawn chair, layout lawn chair from Costco or something, you'd probably take up this entire bay, and that's all stored.
And I'll tell you, that's more comfortable than a poolside Adirondack or any of that. That is
literally
super comfortable.
I'm literally, I was shocked. Like, all right. I mean, I think it's worth the 1.7 just for the chair. Not quite, but no. Yeah, and I wonder if you can order those from Marathon. We got to figure out where to order those.
That's definite cool option here. I've never seen that. Maybe it's something they were optioning on the other coaches. So looks like we need to get another one for the other chairs on here.
Yes,
so
sir.
they might have decided to keep that one for themselves. So we'll have to call Zip-D or Marathon and see about that, because that is a really cool option.
I might have to get some of those for my my house or my boat. So.
Yeah, very neat.
Man, I'm like literally, wasn't it like insanely comfortable?
Very. I saw those the other day and I just haven't had time to like connect it. I knew that's what it was, and I'm like, that is pretty cool. So next bay here is going to be our entertainment bay mixed with our water bay. Water bay in an X3 is going to move forward where they traditionally were in an XL2 on that back bay. Fuel cell is going to be in the back bay next to the drive tires. So this TV here, Andrew, is going to be on a power in and out. So if we press out, this is going to swivel this TV out this direction. They've got a nice all-weather cover on that TV. You've got your iPad control with your iPort docking station. And then you'll see back behind here, we're gonna have our water bay, more manifold system to shut off for our pressure washer, 2 water filters for the coach, our 2 12-volt water pumps. So all of these filters, when this coach is sold, those will all be replaced fresh, just like if the coach was 20 years old or brand new, we're gonna put all new filters in there. So the next bay here, we're gonna have this push button again that Marathon has installed. Because this is an electric fan setup on a coach, we're gonna see that our driver's AC unit unit has moved up to this bay and also has an electric fan to control over this unit here. That will give you better cooling power on these coaches than the older non-electric cooling packages. Just a little closer to the front of the coach, a little better setup with that electric cooling fan. So, you know, even though we talk a lot about the main engine having those electric cooling fans and the benefit of that, we've also seen an improvement from the driver's AC with the electric cooling fan package.
Yeah, and I know, you know, driver's AC units in all 45-foot motorhomes, it's one of those things to push that air 45 feet to the front of the coach. There's not a lot of good motorhomes with dash air out there, but the Prevost keep getting better and better.
They do. They keep getting better and better. And in this bay, you'll also see this is where Marathon puts their water heater. This is the newer style single unit 20-gallon water heater. So they used to build two 10-gallon units, then those went to two 10.5-gallon units, and now we've got our single unit that is a 20-gallon.
And then we can fill the diesel fuel tank from both sides here?
Yes, we can fill the diesel tank both sides. Our DEF tank sits behind here, so easy to access if you ever had to get to that DEF tank for service-related issues. We can see our DEF tank that sits down here. Because this coach fills on the other side, it is capped off, and then our diesel fill from this side of the coach. Now this bay back here on the X3, it is going to open from the front and then slide forward. One thing I like about the electronics on these newer coaches is that they put it in this sealed off box. And so you've got a seal in there. All of this keeps nice and clean. All of your electronics back here. So this will be some of your fuse panel for the rear multiplex system on the Prevost. You've got another fuse block up underneath the driver. Not much that you have to get into here, but if you do, it is all easily accessible. We're going to have 4 AGM chassis batteries on these newer coaches. With the smart alternator systems, we've got to have AGM batteries. Those will be replaced when we sell the coach. Our S-Bar diesel-fired heating system for our diesel-fired heat and water. And then we've got our pressure washer hose reel right there that we can hook up to. And you'll notice here, we've got our power washer power, and then off dock water and DI water. So you can use regular water, and then when you go to rinse off the coach, switch it to DI water.
Yeah, and then Volvo D13 back here?
Yes, Volvo D13. So this rear engine door, I love this rear setup with the big tail lights. We're gonna pop this open.
Oh, nope.
It's not gonna work.
I don't think we're gonna be able to pop it open. We don't wanna scratch the rear end of this, and because this trailer and coach are kind of at a curve, there's not enough room to open this engine hatch, but if we did straighten these out, you could easily open that up with the trailer still attached. But you'll have to check out some of our other videos we did with Austin, because I learned something every time we film with you. But can we take a closer look at the interior of this coach?
Yeah, let's go take a look.
This coach has a really nice feel to it, and it feels like a brand new coach in here.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, it's pretty impressive. We love the opportunity when we get a bus like this in.
Well, we see a lot of coaches, the more modern coaches, with the lighter colors, but this really has the warmer tones, but still a very modern feel. Almost reminds me of like a Jackson Hole estate, got a little bit of that Western feel to it. But a double slide bath and a half, what's all going on in here?
Yeah, so this is one of the X3s that Marathon converted that is a bath and a half. It's a great floor plan. So, you know, today, pretty much everybody buying a coach wants a bath and a half. This is a great bus for that. Lightly used. I mean, it's only got 17,000 miles, but this is not a coach that was sat and lived in by any means. So really, really, if you want to say lightly used, and that is putting it gracefully, because this coach is just in such great condition inside.
Yes, sir. I like a lot of the little design cues that Marathon did in this coach. Like, you know, you have indirect lighting here in several different places. And if you can get a close up here, I don't know, that's almost like a stingray skin or an embossed leather. Just a lot of really rich textures that flow together well.
It is. It is. It's not too overdone with the, you know, so much going on. You have your color palette, and they've done a really good job sticking to that. The mother of pearl inlay that they've used for quite a while, I think that reflects really great off of that accent lighting. So really nice, warm, and inviting, livable coach.
Yes, sir. Now, are these heated floors?
So this will be a heated bamboo floor throughout this coach. Interestingly enough, Andrew, I was just talking with another couple and they had some bamboo floor in another converter and it was not done correctly. So that caused some curling of the boards. Marathon presets all of this, so that is not going to happen to this coach. So you got to know what you're doing when you heat a floor, whether it's LVT, whether it's bamboo, whether it's tile. This has been done the correct way. Marathon's been doing this for a long time and they know how to do it.
Yes, sir. Now, and you mentioned that you did a couple updates, even though this coach is like brand new.
Yeah.
There's a couple things you tweaked to kind of freshen it up a little bit.
So one of the things we do, Andrew, in these buses that, you know, it could be almost new or 30 years old is updating these coaches to brighten up the interiors, modernize the interiors. This had a very dark back on it, almost the same color as the brown leather here, just in a fabric. So what we did was we matched with one of our manufacturers that we use, Kravet. They're used in the majority of the converters. Rachel picked this out, kind of picks up those tones in that Corian surface that they have. So the back undertones and then the light, but really brightened up the interior of this coach when you have a, you know, more dark interior versus that ultra light interior. And I think it helps this bus pop more, looks new, looks refreshed. So whether it's on this bus or an old coach or somebody's looking to do those updates, we do all of those here in-house.
Yeah, so yeah, that light and dark contrast turned out really well. And then will this turn down into a bed?
It will. So this will be a jackknife and this will be a manual. So this will pull up.
Super easy.
Fold down, very easy. It's all personal preference on what you like. Sometimes hitting a button is great until the button doesn't work and the motor doesn't work. But this here, very easy to put down and set back up.
And then a couple of laundry hampers back here behind.
Yeah, a little secret storage as well.
It looks like this recliner has barely been sat in. Now, does this have that kind of keyboard tray that pops out here? Yeah. Really functional, you know, ergonomic area if you wanted to put a laptop here, get a little bit of work done. And then you do have some good storage below. And I always like to point out the Marathon Coach logo stamped into the drawers. Then we've got outlets, USB ports, and then just simple light switches. And I like that you can just press a normal button for your light switch. You don't have to go through a tablet. Some of the newer coaches, you have to, you know, hit a screen. I prefer this style of more analog switches. So.
I do too. You know, as far as integration goes and functionality, Marathon is one of the easiest coaches that we can typically put a customer in, and day one they can operate the coach. You know, there's going to be learning curves, but Marathon is very simple to get in. You've got buttons for everything if you don't want to pick up the iPad to turn on and off lights, and then when you do pick up the iPad, it's just major functions of that. So a button for every light on the coach, which is great in my opinion.
Coming back up to the front of the coach here, we've got the TV that will come down out of the ceiling, and there's a switch for that, and then a second TV here in the slide room?
Yeah, so we've got a secondary TV here, and so going down the road, if you want to watch TV here, this is also on a magnetic latch. So if you were sitting over here and wanted that out, that will also pull out, and that magnet is very, very strong. So it's not gonna vibrate going down the road. Probably about 2020 Marathon started to magnetize that where it'll swing out, which is a great option. And then our front TV here would be a very large drop down.
Yeah, and it's fully upholstered. When that's closed up, you wouldn't even be able to tell that there was a TV up there.
Yeah.
And when we were at the Marathon Coach factory, it was fun to hear them tell the stories about when the original plasma TVs came out, and they were like 20 grand, and they had to figure out a way to put them up in these, and they were pretty heavy back then.
Extremely heavy. We've gone through a lot of those today as far as changing those out, and every once in a while we see those old Runco style TVs, and when you take those out, you got to have 2 or 3 guys on standby to get them out. But you know, for the testament of them to be able to build a lift to hold that TV up. So, you know, these new LED TVs, you know, are so featherweight in comparison. But one thing that I love about Marathon that they have done for such a long time is when you go to get in a coach in a Marathon, that TV folds so far back that it's not going to be a head buster.
Or shoulder buster either.
Yes, and that's super important because to put your TV up and down all the time, you know, it's great to have it out of the way if you don't want to look out your windshields, but to raise and lower it every time, sometimes it's nice just to keep it down, but some of these coaches, you're not able to do that, and you got to duck and dodge around that TV coming and going out of the coach.
I've seen brand new Prevost recently where it's really hard to walk in and out of that coach if the TV's in the down position.
Yeah, definitely a shout out to the engineers behind that. They knew what they were doing and do a great job at it.
Yeah, now if we could just figure out how to get bus prices to do what TV prices have done in the last 25 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you can probably get one for about $2,000. What was $20,000?
Yeah, probably the nicest TV you could buy for $2,000. So.
Yeah. I think TVs are about the only technology that went down in price in the last couple decades. Now, being an X3, this is going to have a flat floor to your cockpit area, where the H3 you have a couple steps down. But
it is.
What's all going on up front here in the Marathon cockpit?
So Marathon designs their own cockpit here. You obviously have Prevost switches and controls, but Marathon puts their TechLink controls elevated over on the driver's left there. That gives you access to switch controls, master light controls, the driver light control, start and stop your generator. All of those things, I'll say, creature comfort mechanical operations that the driver might need going down the road. And then also at your fingertips, you're going to have your Crestron display, and everything that you can do in the back of the coach as far as on your iPads, you can do with that built-in display there, from HVAC control, view your tanks and temperatures, awning control, shade control, lighting controls. So really ergonomically done the right way. You will have hard buttons for your shades up here, so if you want to adjust those going down the road. And then you've also got your sunshades, which I love, that are integrated into the front blinds as well. So you don't have to snap on any shades to the front of the coach. You can simply lower those through your Crestron system and be able to see out and people not see in during the daytime, and kind of keep some of that sun out.
And I think that's one thing Marathon does better than anybody else in the game, is the way they do their shades here. You can see it is bright outside. It's a hot Tennessee day, but look, there is no light. I mean, if you really look closely, it's hard to see any light coming through. If you're not like looking up into the shades, you're not going to see any of that light. These boxes that go around the windows, block that out. And then these blinds have such a nice look to them. Everything is in brand new condition there.
Yeah, definitely so. There's things, just like talking about the Marathon generator, that I would say, as a outside guy looking at the different converters, who does something, better than the rest. Marathon's shade setup, hands down, in my opinion, I love their cockpit shades. Some guys put vinyl shades up here. The vinyl, all that does is attract heat. These are thermal shades, so you're going to keep that heat out of the cockpit. And I guarantee you walk into another converter on a hot summer day and you walk into a Marathon cockpit, this cockpit is going to be much cooler than the other converter.
Yes, sir. And, we talked about Marathon Coach's service department. They've got the largest service network in the industry. What other ways does Marathon really shine?
Marathon has that 24-hour, 7-day-a-week contact. We always want our customers to contact us first, and we can get you hooked in with the right people, whether it's Marathon or Prevost. But Marathon has that 24/7 connection for you, the customer, and for us, the dealer. We call them if we have technical support questions, whether it be out to Oregon or one of the other branches. We work with our customers and their other facilities in Texas and Florida. But Marathon really shows a difference in that side of their support. You're not going to find a bigger service network, whether you've got a 1990 Marathon coach or a brand new 2027 model. They're taking service in, they're taking care of their customers, and not all converters can say that.
And I just noticed these captain's chairs are massaging here, so I had to sit down and try these out real quick. Got several different types of massages. And are both of these captain's chairs massaging?
They will. So these will both be massaging seats up front. Keep that blood flow going down the road. A little massage going for the co-pilot and the pilot. This will be an Air Ride ISRI seat, and then a Villa upholstered co-pilot seat over there. The other nice thing that Marathon does there, Andrew, is underneath we'll see that they have their steps. So a lot of these coaches, depending on the year and the converter, don't necessarily have an immediate step. So even for me, me and you, a 6'2" guy, that if we don't want our feet dangling, or if we want to step off and not step into the hole or on the slide that goes out, Marathon on this chair here has a mechanism that will roll out electrically.
And then it also has an actual footrest if you want to kick this up and then recline back too. You don't have anything immediately behind you, so your passenger can get pretty comfortable. Is there a?
Yeah.
I
You
see
got a little
plant
plant
back
there, but you're good. You've not taken it out of place, so I don't have to tell Rachel on you.
front row view here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Another custom feature that Marathon Coach has done for a while now is this pop-up GPS display. So going down the road, you've got your GPS. We're not having to worry about where to mount it on a window, on a windshield, on a pillar. So if we're going, we've got our GPS here, RV GPS, and then if you're parked, you don't need that anymore. Simply press the GPS button. That sucks it down into dash. It's out of the way, so it's not getting caught on anything when you're coming and going out of the coach.
You mentioned your wife Rachel does a lot of the staging. I'm just curious, was this done by Marathon or was that your wife?
So that was my wife. That was Rachel. She pulls typically all of the staging out of the coach and then goes in and restages. So she did the same thing in this coach.
Yeah, she's really got an eye for design there. Really good looking decor piece there.
Yeah, she does a great job, gets a lot of compliments for us. And whether we own the coach or, it's a consignment, we're doing this to every coach in to making sure that it looks and shows its best.
Yes, sir. Now, there is a decor piece I'm noticing in this other gallery. And when we were at Marathon and we got to learn from Alan, I would bet maybe he likes to put a little elephant in the coaches as a little cool little signature stamp of his.
It is. And so we learned that early on. And one thing that Rachel does, kind of a memento to him, is any marathon that we get in, she always makes sure that whether an elephant is there or not, that she puts an elephant in a Marathon coach. So any marathon we sell, whether it's got an elephant in it or not, she always makes sure to find one and place it in the coach.
Oh, I appreciate that. Now, so was that from Marathon or from Rachel?
So this one is from Marathon.
Okay,
and
cool.
we kept it in place.
Nice. Well, coming back over here to the galley here, what's all going on in the galley?
Yeah, so one thing that we're going to notice about this coach, Andrew, is, yesterday we were in an X3 in that Emerald. It's an X3 body style. This is the newer version of the X3 body style. So this is the latest X3 that you can get from Prevost. And what they did is, instead of having those rounded sidewalls, they straightened them up on the outside of the coach. So we're actually going to notice we have an increased interior height in this coach versus that other X. So we're going to feel much more open inside. But then what that's also going to do is, when we do have cabinets in place, these cabinets are massive up here, and the amount of storage that you get versus a older XL2 or X3 coach, you can just look at that extra interior height that you get in this bus, and it's very evident in these cabinets.
And I love to point out the way Marathon, finishes out every square inch, not only the bottom, the top of the shelves, the sides, just everything is fully finished.
Yeah, it is. And this is a soft design in here. So if you do have, plates or things in there that, if they hit the side, they're not hitting a real, hard laminate surface like that's on the doors. And this is an adjustable shelf in there. So, done very, very nicely.
Yeah, super high quality cabinets. And there's even an embossed leather inlay on the cabinet doors. I don't know if the camera's catching all of these rich textures throughout the coach.
Yeah, really nice job on those. Next over here, this is a pretty cool door that Marathon does. So that's going to fold back, and then this will slide back, exposing our microwave convection oven. Then we'll have a little bit more storage up above. And I think one thing that we can do to tell the difference in a normal X3 or XL2 versus the newer body is, typically when our microwave convection oven is here, there's no more room for a storage drawer or a cabinet up there, or if it is, it's very tiny. This is still a good amount of storage up above this microwave convection oven. Next, we're going to see a Fisher-Paykel 2-burner induction top, and Marathon's always done a great job of recessing that in. Nice big area if you do use any pots and pans. And then we'll have a good amount of storage down here. Marathon's drawers, I love their design that they've done. Also padded in the bottom, that bamboo style look. We'll have some storage here in the middle. an area to keep your trash can and your stovetop cover and your sink top covers. So if you're not using the sink, you need countertop space for, you know, hors d'oeuvres, charcuterie board, whatever you've got out here. If you've got friends over, you could cover that up and have more countertop space. We're gonna have a small drawer making use of every little spot here. So a cutout for the drain so you still have enough storage to utilize. And then we'll have a Fisher Paykel dishwasher drawer underneath here. So back behind, we're gonna feature our pantry. And this is a really, really nice area here. These are adjustable drawers that'll pull out. So you've got multiple of these throughout. If you've got various items that you would need taller or shorter, these are all adjustable in there, but quite a bit of pull-out pantry storage. So both of these doors over here will open up and they will hold in place. You'll have a nice embossed leather, good amount of storage behind there.
Yeah, and then talking about storage, I love the way Marathon has a lot of hidden compartments. And I've been in a few marathons recently, so I've learned if you pull this back right here, you've got a hidden compartment behind your backrest, and then even the inside of that is all finished with that embossed leather as well, just every square inch dialed in.
Yeah, very, very nicely done there. You're going to have the same thing over on this side. You know, even though it's not much, it's making use of all of those little extra storage areas, or, you know, something if you want to keep something more safe that somebody's probably not going to think to pull this down. That's a great area for that.
We were at Marathon recently, so
yeah,
we learned
a lot of secrets.
Yeah,
now.
I've been learning. You know, there's so much to learn, but there's a hidden switch right here, and you can see that table is actually sliding in, so that when you do put your slide rooms in and you're going down the road, you're going to have a much wider aisleway. And then if you want to, you know, extend that out, you can extend it out as well, just depending on, you know, what fits you best. So.
Yeah, and the nice part is instead of just a switch on one side, you've got it on both sides. So if you're on that side or on this side and need to adjust it, this table is fully adjustable both around as well. So if you want to pull it out to get in better, you know, if you're a bigger guy like me, it always helps to have that. So it's a really, really great option.
Yeah, really user friendly. And, you know, with the amount of reps that Marathon has put in building these coaches for all these A-list celebrities that have these high expectations, they've really thought of a lot of little creature comforts that really make a big difference. So.
They do, and that's a very good point that you bring up, Andrew, that, you know, Marathon's probably put more celebrities in coaches than any other converter out there. You know, everybody's got their preference, but the way Marathon is operated and the amount of miles that they then have on their conversions, I think that speaks to the testament of their build.
Yeah, absolutely. I recently saw, I think GQ magazine did a feature on Justin Bieber. He's got a Marathon coach. I mean, one of the biggest pop stars of our era. Going back, I remember Charlie Sheen had a Marathon coach. I remember seeing that. I think Shania Twain had a Marathon coach. And I know we can never get those folks at Marathon to name drop. They are so tight-lipped there, but we did see a cabinet with a bunch of autographs when we were at their mothership out in Coburg. And I think some of those celebrities may have been the owners of some marathons.
It's very cool. There have been some high-profile people, but maybe not necessarily behind the wheel, but been owners and been the recipients of a great quality build inside.
Dallas Cowboys have a marathon coach. That's a cool coach. Any celebrity marathon coaches, or any celebrity coaches that you can recall?
Yeah, so one, going back to the country music days, Sammy Kershaw had a marathon coach that he had built, and when he was with Lori Morgan, Lori then had a Nashville entertainer company build her bus after Sammy's bus, because they were married at the time and wanted those buses to match. So, you know, even then there were converters copying converters and, you know, trying to see what somebody was doing. But a lot of country music artists, a lot of rock music artists that have been in a marathon coach.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah. Eli, the camera guy, just found a secret compartment. Austin and I both missed it, but Eli pays a lot of attention. He's been in just as many buses as probably us.
Yeah.
But check this out right here, the end of this. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, what a... Did you accidentally bump into it? Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, he's super sharp too, but that was found by accident. So
yeah, very cool design that Marathon does there. I forget to look for that sometimes because you look at the fit and the finish, you would never know that is a pop-out storage drawer.
Yes, sir. A lot A lot of secret compartments in these coaches.
Yes,
so
for sure.
Those celebrities got a lot of valuables they got to hide.
They do.
So, yes,
they
sir.
do. So moving our way back through, we're going to see here this matched Sub-Zero refrigerator. And this is going to be a refrigerator top along with a freezer bottom. So this is obviously very high-end appliance, cabinetry matched, automatically locks, something that Marathon does, which is a great feature. So, you know, when you start up your coach to roll down the road, no worries about putting a strap on the door or making sure you've done the travel lock. This will automatically lock in place. And then when you're ready to open it up, you can hit the galley unlock button and open that refrigerator, and then it will automatically lock back in place.
Yes, sir. I love the floor-to-ceiling look here, the way the cabinets go floor-to-ceiling like what you would see in a multi-million-dollar home. But I'm just curious, when we open that back up there, what is tucked behind this? There's like a wood panel right here that's kind of closed off. Do you know what's back there?
So on this Sub-Zero, the compressor is going to sit above there.
Okay. Yeah, but really cool the way they, make that face of the door look. It's almost like a false face to give it that, floor to ceiling look.
Yes, really, really impressive look.
Yeah, and talking about hidden doors and hidden compartments, I think we might have a hidden half bathroom up here.
We do. So this, I've had multiple coaches with this floor plan here before, and people will walk right by not realizing that this is a half bath in the coach.
I've filmed entire videos and not even realized there was a half bathroom hidden there.
Yeah, so quite impressive. We've got our water closet door here that we can open up.
And that cool art inlay on the door as well.
Very nice art, and the neat thing is if somebody sees that and they want something different there, Andrew, we can replace that. We've talked about doing various different things with people before, so if you're not into that specific art there, that's just a backlit piece, we can certainly change that out for the next owner as well.
And this half bathroom is really light here. Really high-end finish on the wall. You even have a backlit backsplash there. Good sized vessel sink with the floating cabinet look with the indirect lighting below the cabinets and below the countertops. And then some good medicine cabinet space here. And even the inside of the Marathon medicine cabinets, have glass adjustable shelves and embossed leather. Marathon really just finishes out every square inch.
They do. Very, very nice job.
Yeah, now what's going on here behind this wall?
So this wall here is actually going to be your shower in the coach. And this will be a sliding wall that closes the main bath here. So if you step on back, you're going to see a very large shower.
I like how the contrast with the lighter color bathrooms, but the darker color cabinets outside. Yeah, this is a massive shower, and I love that overhead shower head. So I'm 6'2". I think a guy 6'8", 6'9" could probably shower in here. And then you have a second. I mean, even this regular shower head, almost a 7-footer could shower in here. My buddy Big Tony, that was in the original YouTube videos, would definitely fit in this shower. But another backlit wall here, plenty of elbow room, a nice spot to hold all of your shampoo and body wash bottles. And then we have a second Tecma toilet here, and really a nice use of this space. You've got plenty of room in your half bathroom. And then with this door open, we can actually section off the whole rear suite. There's a sliding pocket door here, so if you wanted to leave all of this open and just have this be a part of your master bedroom, there's a lot of functionality here.
There certainly is.
Across from the bathroom here, what's going on over here?
So in this closet here, we're going to have hanging space and 2 large drawers, along with our slide out control for the rear super slide. So in this coach, it does have a rear super slide in the back, and then you've got a nice full length mirror here once you get ready. Make sure you look good before you head out. So working our way back in the bedroom, this is going to start our rear super slide here. So when the slide comes in, it will start moving there and then go to the back of the bed. We've got a closet and a couple drawers under here. And when we open this, Andrew, we're going to see some of that old original decor that Rachel removed, but we did keep it in case anybody has any special feelings for this coach when it was new and wants it back to the way it is. So we've not gotten rid of anything, just restaged to our liking, but all of that original decor is in there. The other item that will be hidden is a safe into the wall.
Oh, nice. Hey, totally hidden. I would have thought that was like an inverter panel or something.
Yeah, and especially once you have clothes in there, that's a great place to have that safe. So under our closet here, we're going to have a couple drawers. And one thing that I noticed, Andrew, I went to pull this out and it didn't stop earlier. Very impressed with how deep this drawer is, and obviously have a nice slide back here. So we're going to have another drawer there and then two more over here. So great drawer storage.
And having this extra headroom in your rear suite just really opens it up. Even though it's a double slide coach, it just has a, really large feeling.
It does. And one thing that I will compliment Marathon on, again, just one of those things that I feel they do better than the rest is this bed. This bed, when it actually comes up and pulls, it will pull up out of your walk space, so you have this additional walk room. So when this slide is in, we can actually work our way around to the back closet instead of climbing over the bed. And Marathon does a great job with that mechanism that actually pulls that bed up instead of just raising the headboard.
Now, when the slide room does come in, are you still able to have the bed flat?
You are.
Okay.
You are able to do both ways, whichever you desire.
I know sometimes when folks are stopping for a quick overnighter and don't want to mess with putting the slide rooms out, and with this coach, you can still get to your bathroom, your shower, super livable with the slide rooms in.
Yes, it is, especially being a double slide, it's still livable with those slides in.
Yeah, and this TV is one of the larger TVs we've seen in the bedroom of a motorhome.
I was going to say that's got to be like a 50.
Close to it, if not at least 50.
Yeah, somewhere right in there. So really good size, and you still have a good sized awning window underneath that if you're in the bedroom, letting in a lot of that natural light. And then you have two large windows back behind the head of the bed as well. So when those come up, you will certainly be able to get some natural light in here. But once again, pointing to Marathon shades, if you wanted to sleep during the day, I don't see any light coming in through these. So phenomenal job with that shade design.
Yeah, but if we shut all these lights off right now, fired up these ACs, it'd be easy to take a nap on a hot day.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And talking about storage here, having that TV higher, we still have a large area for storage here. You've got adjustable shelving, a really cool inlay on the doors here, a lot of cool textures. And yeah, I think this is that door that it can fold back like this. Then you've got a really wide opening. This is a full walk-in closet, a little bit of a step up, but stackable washer and dryer. A lot of hanging space too. The hanging space actually is going to wrap around all the way back here. You've got outlets, a little hanging space here, even between the washer dryer and the back of the coach. Long hanging for dresses or race car suits. And again, everything is fully finished out in that embossed leather back here. More drawer space here, deep drawers too, surprisingly deep. This has a ton of storage.
It does. I mean, when you consider this is a double slide coach, a bath and a half, and the amount of storage. And one thing I always like to talk about, my wife and I, we love drawer storage. We've got a lot of hanging clothes, but we got a lot of things that need to be put in drawers with our little girls. And this Marathon has some of the most drawer storage that I've seen, which is pretty impressive. And for us, when we go packing for a trip, that's the storage that we're using. Up here at the top, we're going to have this, what I like to refer to more airline style drop down. So you've got some storage up there, great for hats, shoes. It's really a great design that this sticks up higher and rolls off at an angle. So unlike having big cabinets up there, you still get that headroom that if you want to sit up in bed. So that was a really great design by Marathon.
Yeah, really good utilization of space. And again, I thought we had seen all the storage, but still just more.
really good storage. King size bed, iPad control over here, hard switches for your shades in the bedroom too. So if you wake up in the morning, you don't want to fire that iPad up yet, you can just reach over, put those shades up or down. So really nice layout. Marathon's done a great job with this design.
So you said this coach only has 17,000 miles on it, and it's a one owner, and it was garage kept?
Yes, sir.
And how much money does someone need to become the next owner?
So for the package of this coach with the stacker trailer, which is a 2024 ATC, it's going to be $1.699 million.
And if someone wanted to just buy the coach without the trailer, what would the price be?
Yeah, so we'll gladly sell the coach and the trailer separate. The price on just the coach is going to be $1,649.
And if someone's a serious and qualified buyer and they want to step up and become the next owner, what's the best steps for them to take?
So contact us either through our website on our general inquiry form or call our office at 615-280-1278.
Austin, we really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Andrew.
And we'll leave all of your information in the description below. Also appreciate all of you out there liking, sharing, and following. We hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.